The moment or the day Africa will develop a very strong scientific and technological base coupled with the managerial and entrepreneurial skills, that's the day I guarantee the economy of Europe, America, etc. is going to crash land.
This is Ismael Nasser, one of the few organic farmers left in Uganda.
You can dig a very big trench like this one where you tap water. After some times, it decomposes.
In today's video, he takes us on a journey sharing how he plans to build one of the largest organic farms in Africa.
It's in Africa where you find that in our school syllabus, English language is compulsory, but agriculture is optional.
Today we are indulging ourselves into the world of organic farming. We have moved about 31 kilometers from the city center to Bombo, to be specific, Gogonya. You're welcome to my channel.
Thank you.
Tell us about yourself.
I'm called Mr. Ismael Nasser.
Okay.
Basically a teacher, and besides teaching, I also do some bit of farming.
Okay. So what's the significance of collecting these leaves? I see some people burning them.
We shouldn't make mistake of burning these organic substances. And during rain season, just after a period of 2 months, it will get decomposed completely. Then after that, once it's ready, then you can apply it in your garden.
So can we say you already fertilized this?
Yeah, this soil was already fertilized.
I love your cabbages. How old are they?
It's now coming to 2 months. It has started developing now, except that now the biggest challenge is rain.
How long do cabbages take?
It takes only 3 months.
3 months?
Yeah, only 3 months. Even 2.5.
I want to understand what truly inspired you to start practicing organic farming. But before we go there, can you briefly tell us about the trends that have been happening in agriculture?
Thank you very much for that good question. Before I could dive into that, just allow me to give a summary background to our discussion.
Right.
That's the problem of Africa.
Okay.
You see, Africa is the continent that's still lagging behind. You remember that Africa is the second largest continent in this world.
It is.
That's after Asia, and it's covering approximately 30.3 million square kilometers. And that's where you find all the riches of this world in terms of minerals, very good soil, very big forests, very good climate. But unfortunately, Africa is one of the continents that's lagging behind.
Yeah. So where is the problem?
In my view, I think in most cases, if you're analyzing the problems of Africa, you just have to get to analyze the relationship between Africa and the European countries and the American countries and the other countries. Basically, Africa being the most country that was colonized by the Europeans.
One would think that would be the reason why we are lagging behind.
Yeah, it could be. It's partly the reason. Why? Because if you analyze, you find that it's based on 3 factors. Number 1, Africa is the source of cheap raw materials to these European countries.
Right, yeah.
You get it? Number 2, Africa provides a very big market for the finished goods of these European countries and the Americans and the Asian countries. Number 3, Africa, they are using it as a dumping ground.
Wow.
For their used and expired goods.
Yeah.
That's why you find a lot of second-hand things coming from Europe.
Second-hand clothes. Like he's going to ban all of them.
You see, now this is the problem. Now it's very difficult for the Europeans to see that Africa developing a very strong scientific and technological base which will enable them process their raw materials to finished goods and maybe use their market and prevent this dumping, this business of dumping used here in Africa. The moment or the day Africa will develop a very strong scientific and technological base coupled with the managerial and entrepreneurial skills, that's the day I guarantee the economy of Europe, America, etc. is going to crash land. The real secret of science and technology is not being taught to the Africans. Our education syllabuses, with due respect, it has got a lot of its problems also. It's in Africa where you find that in our school syllabus up to now, English language is compulsory, but agriculture is optional.
Do you know it's becoming compulsory even in people's homes? They no longer introduce their children to mother tongue.
Their local language. Your manure is ready. You can bring it. For example, if you are growing matoke, you make sure that the spacing is 2 meters squared, and you make sure that the depth is around 2 inches. Why? Because it will give you enough space. A, it collects water. 2, when your organic manure is ready, you just bring it and apply it down there, and you mulch it. You cover it with the grass to keep what? To keep moisture. You see, mulching is very good. In most cases, we tend...
Who is in class how mulching looks like? They don't know.
You see now the problem. Mulching, just covering the soil with what? With the grass.
Imagine it's too hot, but your crops look so healthy.
You see, it keeps the moisture. It prevents soil erosion. And finally, it decomposes into what? Manure. Today you cannot say that we are going to compete with these Europeans, the Americans, the Asians, the Chinese, etc. in the high-tech industries. But nevertheless, there is a way we can compete with these people.
I was about to ask, how do we level the ground?
The only way I see that we can compete successfully against these Europeans is in agriculture. Farming and grazing, maybe poultry, things of that sort. But even in agriculture, they are very far advanced in agriculture.
They also practice agriculture.
Yeah, they practice agriculture. And with their technology, they can produce a lot of food in a very small piece of land. But there, if we are to go that line, still they will be challenging us. But the only comparative advantage now we are having to compete with these people in this global village, to see that at least you get 30% of the market share, I think it's only through organic farming. This is what I've been talking about. Now grass like this one, we just bring them there for mulching. And eventually, finally, it decomposes into what? Manure. And you see in this world, it's good to go the hard way. Yeah, the easy way. It may be good, but it is short-lived. See this avocado.
Very healthy.
So far I've planted over 50 trees.
And how long does an avocado tree take?
3 to 5 years when it's ready. With Europe or the other part of the world, they cannot practice organic farming. Mostly they use industrial fertilizers, which are produced from chemicals.
Yes, can you briefly tell us what's organic farming?
Good, that's a very good question. Organic farming is a type of farming whereby you grow crops using organic manure, which is made from the organic substances like leaves of the trees, the grasses, the plants that decomposes and form what? Manure. The original manure, the natural manure, not these industrial fertilizers which are mixed with other chemicals. You see? Now for them, it's not easy to get these organic substances like the leaves, the bushes, whereby you can use them to do what? To make manure, the natural manure.
I see, I understand.
And use it for to feed your what? Your crop. You see this natural manure, or manure made from this organic substance, it feeds the crop with the natural what? The natural nutrients. That's why you find that all crops, all fruits, whatever, which has been produced using organic manure is better, 100 times better than the one produced with the industrial fertilizers.
Right, that's quite true.
Yeah, even the nutrients, it has got very natural nutrients. It gives a human being a very good health.
What do we have here?
These tomatoes, you see, you can plant the matoke, you plant tomatoes. Because the matoke takes almost a year to mature.
Your tomatoes have already fruited.
Yeah, they have started producing fruits. Try to mulch now. The challenge is water. Like now, the moment they start bringing fruits, it needs a lot of water.
You said the termites are feeding on your mulches.
The termites, I will have to spray it with these pesticides. The moment I spray it, they will disappear.
How old are these tomatoes?
This tomato is now 2 months. It takes only 2.5 months and starts maturing. This one is 1 month. It's coming to 1 month old. I transplanted it almost 3 weeks ago.
Is there another thing that inspired you to start practicing this kind of farming?
As you know that in this world, all of us are just trying to survive, isn't it?
Yeah, very true, yeah.
And since the world has become so competitive, you have to think of the best way how you can compete with the rest of the world and remain relevant and survive in this highly competitive world. Not very much relying on them for loans, big loans, grants and other assistances. That's when we can maybe also develop our scientific and technological base now to process our raw materials and sell our finished products and compete with them.
These crops you produce, do you produce them for sale or for home consumption?
No, we used to do subsistence farming long time ago.
Okay.
But now time has come for us to try at least to do some bit of commercial farming.
Okay.
So normally I produce for commercial purposes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, so how do you market these products? Where do you get the market? Is the market available?
Yeah, in Bombo. In fact, in Bombo, we have got a very big market.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're talking about market, I suppose that you're talking about the demand and the supply. I just want to give you a very simple example about our market here in Bombo. We are having the barracks just within Bombo, the vicinities of Bombo.
Bombo, yeah.
It's one of our biggest market. This is the headquarters of the land force. And I think the land force is the biggest force in this country.
Of course.
We're having more than 10,000 soldiers. And you can imagine each soldier, I suppose, gets 8,000 shillings
Per month.
per month. So you can times that 800,000 shillings times the 10,000 population of this force.
Wow, that's
You
a
can
huge
see
market.
how much money is getting into circulation here in Bombo. They are very nice, this green pepper.
Ooh.
Is this a thing so you can just plant it?
For not planting more of them.
Yeah,
It's very healthy.
just
you
for-
have 5 plants.
it's just for consumption. You can just plant it at the backyard.
Sukuma wiki.
That's kumawiki.
It's very healthy. Wow. I'm loving this one. And how long did it take for the eggplant?
Now it has taken 2 months. Don't you see that it has started bearing fruits?
Yeah, it has.
Others have started maturing even. With agriculture, if you practice it in a very modern way in a sense that you're not using the industrial fertilizers, even with this organic manure, it's something that you can use a very small space of land, small piece of land, but you can earn a lot of money.
From here.
Just let me give you an example of Israel and Uganda. You see, Israel, this state was formed in 1917, just behind Palestine, in a place called Negev Desert. These people settled, the Negev Desert is a real rock. And you know how this Israel started agriculture?
No.
They didn't have the very good soils we have here. Even there were no soils there. just rock.
Rock, yeah.
So they started by grinding this rock into sand. I remember very well during Idi Amin Dada's regime, that's around 1972-73, Idi Amin Dada donated a lot of soil to the Israelis. Yeah, they were flying it from Nakasongola to Israel.
Last time someone mentioned on the media that Uganda is so rich that even just selling soil, it's so lucrative, you can get money out of it.
Yeah. But then I think it was just a donation, because Amin Dada was so friendly to this Israel before they could fall apart and move with the Arabs. But he was donating, he donated a lot of soil to them, so they mixed this soil with the sand to produce what? At least loam soil for production. But today as we speak, and if you compare Israel with the Buganda region, I think Buganda region
is the size of Israel.
Yeah, approximately the same size of Israel. It's covering almost 40,400 square kilometers. You see? It's the same size of Israel. But today, Israel is almost taking the bigger share of the market in the world market. And exporting a lot of vegetables and fruits.
Olives.
And they are earning a lot of dollars. But in Buganda, you find that Buganda region cannot even feed itself today.
How do you predict the future of organic farming in this agricultural landscape in Uganda?
The future of organic farming in Uganda, let me say it's not all that bright. Why? Because the organic substances we are talking about comes from trees and the bushes.
Wow.
And now trees are being destroyed very fast. It's the charcoal we use and other things, we use them to bake our bricks. You see now, if you see the rate at which we are destroying our forest, it's very, very, very high. And the rate at which we replant these trees is very low.
Slow, yeah.
People are no longer very much concerned about afforestation. But deforestation is very, very fast.
We've ended our discussion on a sad note, but on the lighter side, it's about knowing that organic farming, it's our strength. It provides us with competitive advantage with the West. So unless we wake up and embrace our strength in organic farming, our future is very null and void. And that brings us to the end of this wonderful discussion. Please stay organic, keep practicing organic farming in your backyard, wherever you are. In your farms, try to stay away from synthetic fertilizers as much as possible, because our soils are so rich, they have the strength to support all your farming. Anyway, until next time, thank you for sticking by.